Elon Musk discussed his opinions on the moon landing, including whether he believed it to have actually occurred. Additionally, we have compelling evidence and information that could alter your perspective on this debatable issue. The discussion of one final piece of evidence that will definitely settle the question of whether the moon landing was real or staged is, however, the most crucial aspect of this video. So let's get started. Welcome, and you are watching Technology Zone, where the home of technology resides. Elon Musk spoke on this subject in a previous interview with the Babylon Bee. Musk brought up the momentum of the Apollo projects while talking about the potentials of the future and the legitimacy of the landing on the moon. Musk was keen to dispel any thought that the moon landing may have been a fake, even though he has personally set his eyes on a lunar landing project through his space exploration firm SpaceX. Musk said, quote, "We traveled to the moon not once but many times, and I think the Russians would have called us out on that one if it wasn't genuine," end quote, when one of the hosts questioned if he believed it was real. Similarly, Elon Musk, who is regarded as the face of contemporary space research, is unwaveringly questioning the historical validity of the first moon landing in 1969. What proof does he have to support his claims? The footage from the Apollo 11 mission's lunar landing on July 20, 1969 was aired to households all around the nation. Generally, live broadcasts of the astronauts' preparation and lunar landing were available to viewers. The most well-known screen captures are Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's first steps on the moon. However, many people who thought the moon landing was a hoax used these videos and pictures as their primary source of evidence. Some argued that the stars would also have been noticeable in the dark background if the astronauts were indeed in space. Theoretically, this is correct, provided that these moonwalks actually occurred during the lunar night and that all other expeditions to the moon's surface occurred during the day, implying that the sun's brightness was brighter than any light coming from the nearby stars. Furthermore, skeptics call out the crosshairs visible in several lunar landing images. Some contend that the crosshairs seem to be painted or added after the photographs were shot, since they appear to be behind some of the things in the frame. But the concept of contrast in the images makes this simple and basic to understand. The crosshairs might appear behind items but actually be diluted out because of the image's brightness, according to testing done using photos taken of brightly lit objects on Earth. Many of the things in the pictures look brighter as a consequence of the moon's light reflecting pale surface, not to mention the worse quality of photographs copied from the originals. Because of how they were duplicated or scanned, many don't have the same color in detail. Other aspects of the mission have generated a lot of conversation among skeptics and the debate about the photographic proof of the moon landing. One of them has a significant orbital period near the Van Allen radiation belts. These belts, which form a donut shape on each side of the planet, are made mostly of charged particles produced by solar winds. According to critics, the radiation in these belts will end up making it literally impossible for anyone to travel across them securely. While NASA engineers on the Apollo missions were quite concerned about this, they devised technologies to safeguard the astronauts as much as they could, and they were actually quite effective. Also, it was found that the astronauts already had 0.46 radiation absorption doses when they got home. This exposure is around 10 times greater than that of medical professionals operating with X-ray and radiation technologies, but it is less than that of an employee at a nuclear power plant. At the same time, exposure was still a part of the Apollo mission's planning. NASA technology qualified for the astronauts' protection against radiation when they traveled through the Van Allen belts. Other than that, there is the project's sheer scale, which is independent of the photographic evidence and the physical abilities of the Apollo 11 mission. The moon landing mission included more than 400,000 individuals. Thus, if the moon hoax had been confirmed, more than 400,000 people would have to have been engaged. It just isn't conceivable to think that so many individuals could maintain such private information from the public, given the scope of the endeavor. In addition, the overwhelming quantity of data that our government and other international institutions have confirmed appears to suggest that the moon landing was an actual occurrence. From the 8,400 photographs that have been made publicly accessible to the 382 kilograms of lunar rocks gathered throughout the course of the 6 moon missions, the evidence is convincing that humans have actually walked on the moon. In addition, an amateur telescope can see the landing spots from Earth, and high-quality pictures of the landing sites, moon rovers, and abandoned descent modules left behind by the Apollo missions have been captured by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. These images also display evidence of rover and astronaut footprints left on the planet. And if all of this is to argue that was the moon landing a hoax? Well, it would have required a highly sophisticated and meticulous prank to have been carried out constantly for so long. It would have involved several different nations, space agencies, and a crew of more than 400,000 people. The probability of such an accomplishment and the copious quantities of proof suggest that the moon landing was a legitimate occurrence, and there is something that will definitely put an end to the argument, explained by the fact that astronauts who had the honor of stepping on the moon left a lot of items behind, like 2 golf balls, a family photo, various pieces of scientific apparatus, American flags, and countless other things. Also, Elon Musk, SpaceX, or other businesses may travel to the moon in a few years. And if the moon landing theory is correct, the proof they find there will finally put an end to the debate. The amount of hypotheses concerning what actually occurred on July 20, 1969, and what has transpired with space study and exploration will increase as the internet continues to expand. Even though the original debunking idea was first put forward in a booklet with the title, "We Never Went to the Moon, America's $30 billion Swindle," it continues to be discussed on forums in science fiction films and across dinner tables everywhere in the earth. However, it is difficult to dispute the overwhelming evidence, including pictures, video hours, and 382 kilos of moonstones. Speculation regarding government conspiracies and the chance that this was all dust and tricks may be entertaining. When it comes to the moon landing in 1969 and the ensuing Apollo emissions, there isn't much believable proof that such a conspiracy even existed. Let me hear all of your stories and feedback in the comment section below. If you find this video engaging, consider subscribing and leave a like. Also, hit that notification bell icon to always be up to date with our new video. Again, this is Technology Zone. See you guys in the next one.